That creates a decent vibe for everybody. As soon as I walk into the arena, most of the time everyone's in there like an hour early, getting practice in. I just get loud. It's game day.
Windsor University strives for like the close-knit community thing, so it's nice when you're like, hey, I won, and everyone is also as competitive with it as you are.
After the game, we always like celebrate, check in with each other, and after winning games, it's a great feeling.
If we can joke around in the intense moments and in the fun moments, like if we can carry that energy through, then it usually helps us win.
Outside of the team, you're also sitting next to the same 50, 60 students every night, and it's fun just to do something cool and clutch and turn around and see 3 or 4 people watching you ready to clap you on.
We're always stoked to compete because we always know Waynesburg's going to win.
We asked 10 Mountie esports players 10 specific questions, and these are their answers.
Watermelon Ice from Gamer Subs.
Ghost Energy, either the cans or the pre-workout, either work.
So I used to be a Ghost favorite, but now
Too long.
White Monster for sure.
Monster, the Fantasy Red Ruby.
The Mountie GG Gamer Subs that they provide. Taco Bell, absolutely.
McDonald's is so much better.
Taco Bell has to be. I've eaten too much McDonald's since it's right down the street.
McDonald's. I like the Oreo McFlurries.
I'm gonna choose Taco Bell because it gives me less stomach problems than McDonald's does.
McDonald's all the way.
There's levels to this, and Taco Bell is at the top one.
Sheets guy all the way.
I actually don't know what it is, but Sheets.
I gotta say Wawa. I grew up with Wawa, and I just think the food's better.
Sheets is the best thing to grace our planet.
I'd have to go with Sheets.
Definitely rough.
Injustice, no J-Naps.
Hydron, probably.
Probably T-Crow.
Either Skippy or T-Crow.
Croc.
Pokemon Red for the Game Boy Color.
Webkins. That was the first video game I've ever played, Webkins.
League of Legends. Sadly, that was the first game. That's one of the only games that I played. I just enjoy it so much.
Mario Kart 7 on the DS.
No bully.
Probably PGE.
Some of the top masks.
Definitely PGE.
Angry Ginge or somebody in that realm, like Speed and stuff, they're pretty funny.
Probably my dorm.
Definitely Birchie.
I think the pond is one of the greatest schools you can play.
The library, it just got renovated, much nicer, much quieter.
Definitely my room.
Probably the IT area in the library.
Yes, I love snowboarding. I've been snowboarding my whole life.
Are you a snow person?
Not really, no. I don't really like the cold a whole lot.
I prefer summer.
Only for playing Snow Day in Rocket League.
No.
Yeah, I love snow.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm from upstate New York.
I love snow. I think it's so fun.
I think I would play, I don't even know. That's the only game that I play.
Probably competitive TF2.
Probably Rivals,
I'd probably just play Trackmania.
I think the culture at Smash is insane. I would love to play Smash.
I'd probably play Madden.
Gotta be Mount Aloysius College, you can't beat them.
Mounties, obviously.
Mount Aloysius, of course.
Oh my gosh, this isn't the question. Mountie esports.
I mean, gotta be the Mounties, right? The culture here is unmatched.
The Mount Aloysius esports program.
Obviously, Mount Aloysius.
You're looking at it.
Gotta be the Mounties esports.
Cool.
You have more important things in life to think about than your internet. At BreezeLine, we propel life forward with home internet so reliable, you don't have to think about it. With a team that goes above and beyond, fiber-powered speeds up to 1 gig, and 99.9% reliability at any hour, in any room. You won't have to think about your internet again. Go to breezeline.com for internet that propels life forward.
Here at Manor Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Manor Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
Doorstep, and they had 3.5 minutes to get there, so it feels like it should be doable. And that's gonna be big from Astro to be able to clean things up shortly. That buys enough space. Oh, win for the pin on the Ramatra. Not gonna be successful in that regard.
Into off the map, right? But gonna be Connor's on the game, the headshots on that Tracer. There goes the Zenyatta, and it looks like Rich Cyber are just walking in line. Coalescence on top of that will be the kicker to this ball composition. And just like that, the numbers are in the favor of Hempfield.
He was so close to getting out of there too. That
That's a big blizzard coming in from Fun Size, able to freeze about 4 out of 5 teammates.
They don't, and they're gonna have to go up against Dave's considering rush. Physics finds a way to get out, charges towards the mini pack, but that pummel does in fact go through that big old shield of the Reinhardt. So as you can see, it's very easy.
I'm playing most colleges that I recognize just by name, by color, just by their team name, so it's fun to play colleges that you know. That creates a decent vibe for everybody. And as soon as I walk into the arena, most of the time everyone's in there like an hour early, getting practice in. I just get loud. It's game day.
Windsor University strives for like the close-knit community thing, so it's nice when you're like, hey, I won, and everyone is also as competitive with it as you are.
After the game, we always like celebrate, check in with each other, and after winning games, it's a great feeling.
If we can joke around in the intense moments and in the fun moments, like if we can carry that energy through, then it usually helps us win.
Outside of the team, you're also sitting next to the same 50-60 students every night, and it's fun just to do something cool and clutch and turn around and see 3 or 4 people watching you ready to clap you on.
We're always stoked to compete because we always know Waynesburg's going to win.
We asked 10 Mountie esports players 10 specific questions, and these are their answers.
Watermelon ice from Gamer Subs.
Ghost energy, either the cans or the pre-workout, either work.
So I used to be a Ghost favorite, but now
Too long. White Monster for sure.
Monster, the Fantasy Red Ruby.
The Mountie GG Gamer Subs that they provide.
Taco Bell, absolutely.
McDonald's is so much better. Taco Bell has to be. I've eaten too much McDonald's since it's right down the street.
McDonald's. I like the Oreo McFlurries.
I'm gonna choose Taco Bell because it gives me less stomach problems than McDonald's does.
McDonald's all the way.
There's levels to this, and Taco Bell is at the top one.
Sheets guy all the way. I actually don't know what Wawa is, but Sheets.
I gotta say Wawa. I grew up with Wawa, and I just think the food's better.
Sheets is the best thing to grace our planet.
I'd have to go with Sheets.
Definitely rough.
Injustice, no J-Naps.
High ground, probably.
Probably T-Corral.
Either Skippy or T-Corral.
Croc. Pokemon Red for the Game Boy Color.
Webkins. That was the first video game I've ever played, Webkins. Oh my god.
League of Legends. Sadly, that was the first game. That's one of the only games that I played. I just enjoy it so much.
Mario Kart 7 on the DS.
No bully.
Probably PGE.
Some of the top man.
Definitely PGE.
Angry Ginge or somebody in that realm, like Speed and stuff, they're pretty funny.
Probably my dorm.
Definitely Birchie.
I think the pond is one of the greatest schools you can play.
The library, it just got renovated, much nicer, much quieter.
Definitely my room. Probably the IT area and the library.
Yes, I love snowboarding. I've been snowboarding my whole life.
Are you a snow person?
Not really, no. I don't really like the cold a whole lot.
I prefer summer.
Only for playing Snow Day in Rocket League.
No.
Yeah, I love snow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm from upstate New York.
I love snow. I think it's so fun.
I think I would play, I don't even know. That's the only game that I play.
Probably competitive TF2. Probably Rivals, you know.
I'd probably just play Trackmania.
I think the culture at Smash is insane. I would love to play Smash.
I'd probably play Madden.
Gotta be Mount Aloysius College. You can't beat them.
Mounties, obviously.
Mount Aloysius, of course.
Oh my gosh, this isn't the question. Mountie Esports.
I mean, gotta be the Mounties, right? The culture here is unmatched.
The Mount Aloysius esports program.
Obviously, Mount Aloysius.
You're looking at it.
Gotta be the Mounties Esports.
Cool.
You have more important things in life to think about than your internet. At BreezeLine, we propel life forward with home internet so reliable, you don't have to think about it. With a team that goes above and beyond, fiber-powered speeds up to 1 gig, and 99.9% reliability at any hour, in any room. You won't have to think about your internet again. Go to breezeline.com for internet that propels life forward.
Here at Manor Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Manor Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
Doorstep, and they had 3.5 minutes to get there, so it feels like it should be doable. And that's gonna be big from Astro to be able to clean things up shortly. That buys enough space. Oh, win for the pin on the Ramantra. Not gonna be successful in that regard.
off the map, right? But gonna be Connor's on the game, the headshots on that Tracer. There goes the Zenyatta, and it looks like Reach Cyber are just walking in line. Coalescence on top of that will be the kicker to this ball composition. And just like that, the numbers are in the favor of Hempfield.
He was so close to getting out of there too. That's a big blizzard coming in from Fun Size, able to freeze about 4 out of 5 teammates.
They don't, and they're gonna have to go up against Dave's considering rush. Fish finds a way to get out, charges towards the mini pack, but that pummel does in fact go through that big old shield of the Reinhardt. So as you can see, it's very easy.
I'm playing most colleges that I recognize just by name, by color, just by their team name, so it's fun to play colleges that you know. That creates a decent vibe for everybody.
As soon as I walk into the arena, most of the time everyone's in there like an hour early, getting practice in. I just get loud. It's game day.
Windsor University strives.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the PIA High School Esports League, powered by TEC. We're here in week number 5 with some Overwatch action. My name is Llama77, joined by the handsome ya boy Q up here in the booth. Q, how you doing, and what can we expect from today's matches?
Oh, I am excited because one, it's a new week. You mentioned week number 5. We've crossed over that midway point, but today we got us a banger of a matchup to start things off. Central Buck South versus Penn Manor. If you ain't hip with it, these are 2 undefeated squads. And by 2 undefeated squads, perfect undefeated squads sitting at a perfect 3-0, 6-0 on their map counts. So one, somebody's got to lose their first map of the semester. There's a potential they both could. Somebody's also got to lose their first series in this first matchup. This should be a barn burner here, Mr. Llama.
I'm excited. I mean, one of these 2 teams is going to hit 4 wins. One of them is going to move into possibly the best position out of any other team. And maybe we have a chance after this week to only see 2 teams left undefeated. 3 teams right now overall undefeated. So the battle between these teams are going to be good, especially because you mentioned how flawless they have been throughout their season. They've been 2-0 all the way through. They've both been looking really solid. And now they've got to clash together today.
We saw Penn Manor, I think, is the back-to-back state champs, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're going for the 3-peat this year. Maybe it's the 3-peat going for the 4. I would have to go back and check my notes. I feel really bad in the fact that I don't. A little embarrassed, but that's okay. We did see this Penn Manor squad, though, at the Land of Steel, Llama. And I know from chatting with the players just a little bit there, they're feeling pretty confident right now. Can't blame them. I mean, they've looked incredibly dominant in every match that I've seen them. And I think I've gotten to at least cast one of their matches. I caught a couple of them, I think, with you and Hot Sauce calling some of the action earlier on this season as well. But this Penn Manor squad, I feel like is one of those teams. Often we see where a team isn't just simply carried by a player. We're like, oh, they're good. They've got 2, 3 strong players. This Penn Manor squad, they don't have a weak link. It feels like all 5 of their players really do a great job of carrying their weight in their own right. And when they're all firing on their own, like in their own, it can be a scary squad, so watch out.
Well, our map pool for today for these 2 scary squads will start out on Lijiang Tower. We get Flashpoint as a guarantee and then Hybrid if necessary for that 3rd map. Obviously, you've got to win 2 if you want to win the best of 3 series, and we're headed on to map number 1. It's gonna be good. Central Buck South versus Penn Manor. Let's play some Overwatch.
Let's get down to it, baby. I always love me some good Overwatch to start the week. I always love to see too, especially when we have 2 of our top tier squads, is kind of the approach on the first fight, because sometimes you'll see even both of these squads, depending on who they're playing in other weeks, they'll be more aggressive towards the point here. Both squads trying to find that first pick, and man, oh man, look how aggressive Penn Manor is, pushing this Titan squad all the way back to their spawn, Llama.
Oh, this is one of the most dirty points in all of Lijiang Tower. How are you supposed to push on through if you cannot land the poke? Penn Manor, early control of this control point. Already hits a long-range shot onto Clancy to make it a 5v4. And Frenchette has already got the Diva Remac. Now for Artie, taking down that early support is good, but Shoot'em has been so good on this Reaper. We'll have to see how they use this right-sided angle.
When Shoot'em's on the Reaper, you just have to watch the back line. It adds a whole nother whole nother layer to the game for the opposition, because at any point in time, Shoot'em pops back in there, especially when they have the ult available, can really take out 2, 3, 4 players just that quick. And I mean, we've seen multiple times, even just over the course of the season, where that's been the case. Central Buck South still really struggling with finding a way to be able to keep resisting against the pressure. Yeah, we've seen the Diva be able to do all right with keeping themselves up, but they're not doing a great job of being able to peel back for some of their more squishy players to keep them in the fight as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't really have a shield other than that defense matrix to work off of, so playing that front to back is really, really tough. And even tougher when the Zarya on the other side is already charged up to 99 with an ultimate to boot. 2 supportive ultimates, and guess what? The DPS ultimates are right on the horizon as well. It's going to be a try from the Reaper, but Ronglong is eaten alive by the laser beam of the Zarya, and it's already up to 50% for Penn Manor.
And Manor looking solid right now. I mean, even when Central Buck South got brief control of the point, didn't feel like much of a pressure as far as from Penn Manor. They didn't look like they had gotten as far as like any sort of hesitation, right? They just got regrouped and they were able to get the point right on back. They're at 70% here, and that does mean for the Titans you're in a tough spot. It feels like this probably the last full team fight you're gonna get, because unless you have a very quick one here, you're probably gonna be staggered enough where you're only gonna be able to get a second touch. So this has to be a huge ult here as far as from Lucio.
Gravity pulls him in, sound barrier's there, and unfortunately the extra health bars are just not enough. Diva Bomb to grab some extra space, but this fight was already written in the cards. Frenchette might change that though, with a headshot and extra kill on top of it. Death Blossom gets nothing, and Shoot'em is in a 1v1 that they win. A 2v1 now on the boy, but that Diva deals massive damage. Central Bucks find a way to rip down 4 of the ultimates on the other side, and they resecure the point.
Right here for second, see how long they can hold on to it. 99% means it's got to be the distance to our this Titans squad. They'll at least be able to push it back a little bit. Artie has to make sure they can keep themselves safe is going to be the first big thing. And keep pushing forward here as far as our tank. I love to see the Zarya coming out. I feel like it's a tank that we don't see too often on the front line, but whenever it does come across, can really give some problems to the opposition level.
Definitely can, especially depending on who you bubble, can use that shield very wisely. And men are playing well, but Artie's going to go into the overclock mode. That extra railgun charge delivering to Clancy's dome. But Ronglong sends one back home. It's 4-4 here as a fight on the upper high ground continues to rail on. But without their DPS, where's the damage for Central Buck South? The extra grenade is not enough. Brayden takes one down, but is it the fight that they need? Just one team fight, just 1% is all they have. D-mec'd, D-babied, and now it's all down to the Lucio to try and defend what they can. Clancy earns a double, Shoot'em's got the ultimate, and a hard-fought victory on sub-map number 1 goes to Penn Manor.
You know, we had tuned in to Shoot'em there, and I was wondering when the Death Blossom was going to come out. And when you see him already putting him down in succession, and you know you're sitting on that ult in the back pocket, you just knew it was a matter of time before Penn Manor take point number 1. Give it up to CB South. They definitely made it a fight. It looked like for a moment Penn Manor was going to run away with things. So the Titans definitely showing that this ain't going to be no easy task for sure. But I think inversely, Central Buck South, maybe it's hard to say underestimated this Penn Manor squad. I definitely feel like they've got the perception about them as like the best in the state for sure. But Central Buck South, it just feels like didn't quite show up in the way that they're hoping to on that first sub-map.
Yeah, kind of had to run into that South Fayette team, the one-timer blip in history, the lacrosse players who just decided to play for fun and were so good they made it all the way to the state finals.
Oh, yeah.
Penn Manor trying to revenge that this year as they retake back a lot of space out in the open, but unfortunately they're going to go for the wrap. Because Central Buck South got control of the statue first, they're going to try and play inside the actual point. The Reaper is going to be the target of the bubble, and the Soldier Grenade is really good to zone everybody else off. But for Penn Manor, the health bars are still good. They're already 90% of the way through the contention, and they're going to secure this point with Shunem earning first blood.
Great thing that Penn Manor is generally able to do is be able to grab that point while getting that first fight across. And now the big thing here is if you can stagger a couple of these kills out, especially the fact that it's some of your support players. Now if you can also grab the tank as well, now things get a little interesting because, well, now you've got yourself a Central Buck squad who can't really push onto the point, and it'll closer to 50%. The more bigger problem, though, is this squad from Penn Manor ain't going to be nice about it. They're just going to continue pushing forward and keep you pushed back against your spawn doors.
Still having to wait for that Diva respawn. That secondary life took so much time to finally get back up and going. Wrong lung swapping to the Genji as Brayden takes down Shunem. A huge first takedown, but Artie on the triple reneg. It's going to be Joe Forte who finds that early kill, finds a double into the back line. And it feels like for Fred Trent, you've got no damage around you. Targeting the pieces around this Diva first, and then just finding ways to take down the rest of the team. Jove will wave goodbye as Penn Manor hits 60%.
Solid here. I mean, last time at this point, I believe Central Buck South has at least been able to get themselves control of the point. I don't even know if they've been able to touch it here on the second sub map. I mean, it really feels like Penn Manor has gotten themselves locked in. They've been able to do a pretty good job of keeping them pinned back for the most part here. And Ult's gonna come out here again in succession. When they combine those things, they become absolutely masterful. It's not gonna be a whole team wipe, but 4 or 5, close enough.
Those shockwaves in the canals of the backline find so many openings, and the Diva is on a lone mission with 90% left to go. Will pop the bomb as soon as they demech. This might be the chance they need. Clancy, the long-range shot takes him down. Quickster's got another onto IJV. All of a sudden, without supports, how do Penn Manor approach this team fight? They don't. Central Buck South is able to rip another from the health realm, and Fred Chet is on a tear.
Well, you've been able to earn yourself a breath of life here. Again, similar situation to that last time around. 99% means you gotta be able to take this thing the different distance, but you gotta give it up to Frenchet. Nice sneaky play to be able to keep things alive here for this Titans squad. Now it's going to be all about keeping themselves alive. Great job to fall on back, but Shunem playing extra aggressive, pushing into the back line. Frenchet not going to be able to peel in time. Already down. Frenchet trying to see if they can find themselves at least a pick, but they haven't been able to find any.
D-Meched and taken down, and unfortunately for them, the bubble on the early Reaper charges up this Zarya above 50, and that is just gonna seal the deal. Some extra Reaper shots, some denial as well. The capture is there, and the overtime fuse soon to dissipate. The touch isn't there, and Penn Manor has swept this first map.
I think what's incredibly impressive is somebody who has been able to see both of these teams, I guess, against obviously other squads before this week. Central Bucks South is a team that I feel like generally does a great job of looking other teams who are, you know, pretty high up in the standings and make them look kind of weak. I figured this was going to be one of those matchups that was like a hard fought overtime 99-85% sort of deal, while the Titans were able to get themselves control of each point a little bit. It never felt like Penn Manor was out of control. Really impressive to see just how much they dominated map number 1.
And I think it's kind of incredible that you know, they were able to play Lijiang Tower so well. This is a map where if you get control of the point first, if you win fight number 1, you're getting 50, 60% holding them out. But I think that sub-map number 1 was actually so impressive. I mean, they not only held that corridor, but they held it with 5 ultimates for like a minute of time and just sat there saying, okay, you want to take the final fight? We've got the resources to battle back to it. Now, things don't get much easier for Central Buck South because we've got a guaranteed flashpoint map here today in map number 2. They get to select where to go. I guess there's positives, there's negatives. You don't have to give up the attacking or defensive side because it is flashpoint, but this is another one where if you aren't taking your team fights clean enough, then it's just going to be Penn Manor cleaning up 2-0 on the day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can maybe say that for Central Buck South, there were a couple of times that you were able to take points and hold on to it for 50% on control. Those could be flashpoint full points, right? Because they do go by in a flash, coincidentally enough. I feel like that maybe have been intended as far as with the name itself. But I do feel... this is probably one of the weeks, probably the toughest one to lose map number 1 because you do go to such a similar play style here. So I don't even know where you go. I feel like New Junk City is usually the fan favorite. But if you had to pick where you wanted to go here, Llama, hit me with it.
I want to see Atlas. I feel like we haven't gotten to see it really all last year because it wasn't added into the map pool. I think it was added sometime around June, so back in the summertime, and we haven't really gotten to Flashpoint. It's been in the options in that 3rd rotation slot, but most of the matches here in PIEA ending in sweeps. So I think it'd be exciting to see that, especially because teams haven't studied it as much, but knowing these two teams, they're probably banning it first. If they don't know the maps, if they don't know the angles, they're probably getting it off the table first.
I have a feeling that Atlantis is probably not going to happen, which is part of the reason why I would really like to see a Servasa, just because I feel like we're seeing New Junk City guaranteed once of at least the 2 that we have for the day. And it's interesting, right? Because I do feel like if you are CB South, you probably at least feel pretty comfortable on New Junk City and Servasa. And if New Junk City is your better map, do you pick it when you feel like you're probably playing into a Penn Manor squad who also has a very good grasp on that? Because let's be honest, like New Junk City is kind of like that old tried and true, at least of the 3 flashpoints. Of course, saying that, I don't know if I would really expect Penn Manor to have a weak map on Flashpoint per se. So I definitely I can understand the I can empathize with the tough position that the Titans find themselves in right now.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of interesting that I know we're talking about picking a map, but it's kind of, you don't really get to pick. Both teams kind of get one ban, and it's kind of just whatever's left up. But being the team that did lose first, you get to ban first. So you get to ban what you hate most, and then you kind of leave it up to the other team to decide between the two. So I think it's quite interesting, but like you mentioned, these two teams, I don't know that it's going to matter necessarily on a Flashpoint map. I think it's just going to come down to the composition changes for Central Buck South. I liked the Genji, but the problem is I think they swapped to it A, a little bit too late, and B, when they didn't have control, and it really couldn't find any way to walk out and find the backline and find those targets, especially though Venture is such a huge counter almost to Genji. Genji's like, I'm gonna go stab you with my sword, and Venture's like, I'm gonna go underground, no thank you.
Let's take a look as to where we're going, and asking you shall receive. Give me Servasa, baby, please, for map number 2. That's where we're going. You know what? First off, I just want to say, before I say that it's one of the maps that I think looks the best. I don't want that to make it sound like any of the maps look bad over and Overwatch. I think the art of the maps is probably one of my favorite things. But Servasa, the color scheme, sign me up. I love it.
Yeah, I love the flowery, the nature vibe that you truly get. And I think especially, you see that image of Suravasa, that is one of my favorite points, where it has that corridor, the high ground, low ground, and you've got some really interesting fighting scenarios and fighting arenas. For Central Buck South, though, we only play best of threes in the regular season, so if you don't win this map right here, the series is over, your first loss in the season. It wouldn't be a too bad one, obviously dropping to the runner-up state champions of last year in spring, but Penn Manor definitely on a tear, and they are looking good.
And Manor looking pretty good here. I would really like to see this thing go 3. The thing that's always so dangerous when you have 2 like heavyweights the way that we do in this map, or on the server, I should say right now, is both have the ability to really run away with momentum. This Penn Manor squad, maybe I correct me if I'm wrong, Llama. I know we don't have the ability to like perfectly check this right now, but I believe a majority of this core has been around for the last 3 years. I think they've got like 4 seniors on this roster, and they're just a team that like they have that synergy where it's almost like even if they didn't have comms, they would still be able to be coordinated in their fights just off of their history together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even in their own right, you talk about players that are finding opportunities, and you're talking about a lot of players that are actually searching for collegiate opportunities. Shunem, Big Jiffer, and IJV, especially when they graduate, there's going to be colleges looking at their name. As we're into the first fight here, and Wild Baller takes a 1-for-1 trade. Shunem getting dropped early is quite interesting. I love Braden going with the sim. You've got these slow turrets to make the fight a little bit easier on the outskirts of this point. Nobody yet to capture it.
Buck South trying the best that they can. Currently, though, it is contested. Penn Manor has the slight advantage. However, they are going to be getting pushed back here. I mean, I really like the fact that the Titans have shown up in a big way here on this second map. The problem right now is they got Big Jiffer, who's been getting free pickings and now has been able to take to the high ground. It's almost like shooting fish in the barrel. No one's shooting back. And once the big dog falls, however, everyone else starts to be that much more squishy, as the team wipe should be complete here in just a moment.
Wild Baller earns himself a 2K, and for Central Buck South, you mentioned the big guy. The Quickster is one of 2 presidents here in this team that you need to protect. It's a front-to-back composition, the Quickster, and Artie, if they go down, your team fight just falls apart. You don't have the damage to follow things up. You have Braden for the close-range damage, but you need to get that Void Shield down and then take those 1v1s. But the bubble being popped early for Wild Baller, that is so much Zarya charge.
Able to start with here as they gotta find a way to work their way towards the point. Already at 60%. Here is Penn Manor. Already gonna be at 2 HP in a dream. I thought was gonna be able to find their way towards safety, but not quite going to be the case, as it's gonna be Wild Baller trying to help lead the charge here. It's going to be a nice Death Blossom from Shunem. We'll be able to find one. Unfortunately, though, only finds one. The good news, the rest of the team steps forward. The bad news, one of the players that is left on the point is the Quickster, and the fisticuffs will be enough to lead Central Buck South to cap this point here at that 99 stop point.
And even saves the ultimate for the next team fight. Incredible performance after Artie was dropped very early into that team fight. Penn Manor, though, is bringing some big ultimates, and especially Big Jiffer could combo them really well if the Graviton hits. Braden is going to wall them out and lay down some really good close-range damage and some slow turrets on top of the archway as well. Encroaching on 50% left. Wrong Long needs to juice up this sound barrier as quick as possible because Penn Manor is coming with ultimates.
See just how quick this thing ticks up comparatively, right? I mean, already at that 66%. That's the whole point. As far as of the playlist here, to be able to find 2 as Wild Baller make it 3, and big bounce back here for Penn Manor, jumping right on in, finding those ones that were needed. Look at that. It's going to allow for Penn Manor to take point number 1.
Big Jiffer yoinks away the pentakill, but I love that ultimate combo. You get Kitsune Rush, you get Graviton combo together, and unfortunately for Central Buck South, 3 of them got caught in that Graviton, so Central Buck South now down 1-0. You need to get to 3 of these little sub-control hills in this flashpoint if you want to win the map. Penn Manor already on their way there, but as you mentioned, some really good fights from Central Buck South. We'll see if they can do it again.
Shunem, one of our favorite as far as damage players who can play aggressive and really put on highlight plays. Of course, with that, sometimes that over-aggression can pay the bills as far as the opposition being able to find those opportunities to be able to kind of fight back against this Penn Manor squad. I feel like the discipline from Shunem today has really been something that's been nice to see. We haven't really seen any of those times where pushing too far back and getting caught. Instead, just picking and choosing their moments and always finding ways to stay alive.
Yeah, Shunem accounts for 3 kills there, but more importantly, does some good chip damage to Quickster. It backs the tank off of the fight, and then he's like, okay, well now your backline is exposed. Teleports to the backline, takes down Artie and Braden, and then there is literally no damage left to go. So Penn Manor taking those early fights, they've got 2 ultimates to work with again.
39% here, plenty of time here, or plenty of time left if you are the Titans, but you got to make sure that you can get towards the point here soon. Quickster, unfortunately, has already lost both of their damage players, so you don't have much as far as health. Everyone turns their attention that way, and everyone else will fall in succession. The dominoes will all fall, and already at 70%. Feels like at this point, if there's going to be anything on the second point, it's just a push for a touch, and I don't know if it's worth it. I think instead you just regather and focus on this third point. However, it does feel like the Titans have other things in mind, Llama.
It's good snowball out of control quickly as Shunem earns themselves a double kill. Sure, Quickster has found the backline and Big Jiffer dies, but it's not before Shunem rips another away. The Quickster falls as well next to their team, and Penn Manor goes back-to-back control points, or flash points rather. Central Buck South has 3 ultimates to try and fight into this third one, but boy, Penn Manor is looking good. They just have to charge up some of their ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing here is you mentioned the 3 for Central Buck South, make it 4 as Braden just gets theirs, and more than likely by the end of things, Wrong Long will get theirs as well. Probably won't be able to stack it with anybody else because you more than likely will expend the other 4 before then, but Central Buck South right now has to worry about finding a way to stay on their feet because Big Jiffer, like the last time, I felt like we had sat on board in their POV, has just been able to sit back and gets free pickings on the back line, now taken up to the sky, and look at that, finding more openings here. It's too easy for Big Jiffer here and the rest of the Penn Manor squad.
Playing around that Ravenous Vortex timer perfectly, making sure they don't get slowed up, and again taking down Artie at the start of the fight. It's back-to-back kills for Big Jiffer, make it 3 as they steal away Shunem's extra. The headshots are ringing in, and Central Buck South can't even get to the point. All of that wasted time, all that delay has charged up all 5 ultimates for Penn Manor.
This point here with it already at the 60%, you're taking the fight. It's got to be here. It's got to be now. If you are the Titans, because you are already down 2-0 in this series. Shunem, however, already making a play to the back line. The ultimate feels like maybe a bit much for the 1, but then when you combine it with the rest of the squad just to be able to clean things up, that will wrap up this team fight. Everyone falls on that Central Buck side, and 95%. You watch the final couple percent tick down, and man, Penn Manor almost make things look too easy.
They change things up for map number 1 and earn themselves a nice clean sweep with not too much congestion. It's Big Jiffer, of course, that earns the play of the game on Sojourn. That puts Penn Manor up in a winning position, and boy, that overclock always so deadly, but targeting Artie first, putting a hit marker on them so many times, and being able to follow things up with a triple kill here in that fight, it always felt like they had Artie's name. Wherever it was, wherever they were, Artie is the main damage dealer. If you can take them out first, the fights were just so easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an example of understanding the opposition. It's one thing to be a team that's just good. It's another team to be good that's also very well prepared. And it's very obvious that Penn Manor came in with a game plan. You mentioned Artie really not given the space to be able to do the damage that otherwise we see week after week when CB South heads to the server. So a big shout out to Penn Manor. sure CB South will have the redemption thoughts for next semester, or maybe even that conference playoffs here in just a couple of weeks. But Llama, we're going to keep things moving as far as the day here. We've got 2 matchups on the day. Matchup number 1 done and dusted. Matchup number 2, though, should be just as fun. Just as much as we had our first 2 undefeated, we still keep things going on in our D1's action. Forest Hills versus Loyal Sock. I believe that's our, I believe 2 top, it's like top 6 squads. So should be a lot of fun here, Llama. You ready?
I was born ready because Overwatch is awesome and I love watching it. And I also love seeing an organization, or I guess school like Forest Hills, that has built so many successful teams. Still the most winningest school in all of PIEA. You go to what their structure is, and sure, we talk about their Rocket League team has won the most titles out of anybody. They got a player now on collegiate scholarship in Pigby who moved on to bigger and better things. But you're talking about a program that really cares about its students and has the structure for them to grow over time. And you could say the same about Loyalsock. I mean, we've gotten to know them more and more as we've gotten to call them more and more. So I think this is 2 really, really passionate schools that are both searching for a win.
I think the big thing here to keep in mind for these 2 squads, I had mentioned that I thought it was top 6. These are 2 like top 8s as far as Division 1. But 2 teams who you talk about in their separate conferences, because they are in separate conferences, are vying for those like last couple of spots right now to be potentially in that top 4 for playoffs. So it's going to be a matchup that has a lot of weight behind it. Should be a lot of fun. So y'all aren't going to want to go too far. Maybe grab yourself a quick drink, grab yourself a snack. I know we got a lot of kiddos getting home off of school. But on the other side, we've got got ourselves another banger Overwatch matchup here for PIEA right after this.